After 4 months of patiently waiting, we finally got a new trailer for the Walten Files 4, baby. And honestly, for a 2-minute video, there is a lot packed into this trailer. So in this video, we are going to be breaking down this trailer frame by frame, discussing every little detail that Martin Walls has blessed us with. And for those of you that are new here, I do cover tons of analog horror series like the Walten Files and Harmony in Horror. So if you're into that sort of content, be sure to subscribe. It would mean a lot. So right off the bat, we can see the Bunny Smiles incorporated logo, and right below that, it says a cyberfun tech company. And as we know from the unlisted video Guilty, the way that Bunny Smiles first got their big break was in 1972.
It's crazy how far we made it. Just everything, really. The cyberfun tech deal, the Bond's Burgers project, it's incredible.
So this video is taking place 2 years after the deal was made, 1974. And as we all know, 1974 was a very significant year in the series. Because in this year, Felix's wife Linda leaves him, Ed and Molly pass away in the accident, Bond's Burgers first opened and shut down, Jack Walton goes missing, Susan Wooding was killed, Rosemary is killed, and a ton of other stuff. So if you do want a full breakdown of everything that has happened in the series, I do have a video that covers just that. So yeah, that will be linked in the description if you are interested. So after the BSI logo, we do see this screen that is on for the entire video, accompanied by flashes of footage. It says technical difficulties, please stand by. And right below it says technical difficulties are temporary. Keep an eye. And I do feel like this whole screen is Martin Walls speaking directly to the audience. Especially with all the flashes that do occur within the video, I feel like it's Martin Walls' way of saying, pay attention, there's a lot in here, it just goes by really quick. And as for this abbreviation CT, I couldn't quite figure out what this acronym means, so if you guys do know what this means, let me know in the comments. In the first flash, we can see the Shaw animatronic in what looks like the Bond's Burgers restaurant. So perhaps this is before Rosemary is put inside of the animatronic. Next, we can see the Bunny animatronic with its headpiece removed. And this scene could be from when Susan Wooding was fixing the animatronics in the Bunny Farm episode. She states that after Jeremy's birthday party, there were some irregularities in the animatronics.
I noticed a few irregularities in the stage and in the audio animatronics. As the engineer and the person who basically built the animatronics to begin with, it was easier to notice these.
And Susan was fixing them up the night she was killed. Next, we do get an image of the restaurant, but there doesn't seem to be anything quite alarming in this shot. Then we are shown an endoskeleton getting its cartridge inserted. And based off of the eyelashes, we can determine that this is in fact Bunny. And this is either Felix reprogramming Bunny to kill, or just Susan replacing the model's cartridge. After, we do get a shot of white leaves, and this is perhaps alluding to the St. Juana's forest, where the K9 facility is located and where Ed and Molly were buried by Felix. There's a shot of a radio, and from the animation style of this radio, it does remind me a little bit of Bunnies Neighborhood, a cartoon created by Bunny Smiles Inc. So perhaps in the next episode we will get more footage of that cartoon created by the company. Next, we have an image of an animated Bond with an empty text bubble, and this is perhaps a glitch that occurs in the Bunny Farm arcade game that Sophie was playing in the last episode. A user named Banny1 appears, and it looks like this is some sort of database where files on each of the animatronics is kept. And notice how it says Banny1. And if we do recall back to the first episode where Ashley is exploring the back rooms, she mentions that there were prototypes created, so this could be one of the first Bunny prototypes. Then we see a black object with a note on top that says something along the lines of, "Oh, Berev is something." It's very hard to make out, so apologies for that. But if you guys can make out what this actually says, please let me know, because I honestly cannot decipher it, sorry. And after this, we do get a crucial scene of the night that Ed and Molly were killed. We get a glimpse of Felix driving away from St. Juana's forest after the crash and after he buried Ed and Molly. Notice how the windshield is completely cracked, and you can also see the forest on the right hand side. Next, we do get an image of Bon inside of a building. And honestly, it might be a bit of a stretch, but I really think he's inside the Enford Hotel, the hotel that both Jenny and Sophie work at. Because if you do look at the right hand side, there is this wall that looks like an old key holder wall that old hotels used to have. So I do have a feeling that Bon has made his way to the Enford Hotel in search of Sophie. And pushing this theory even further, if we go back to episode 1, we get this scene where Bon is standing over Sophie, and Sophie is in her hotel uniform. So I do think that episode 1 foreshadowed that Sophie will eventually be met with Bon. And like I said in my last video, now that Sophie has recovered her memories, she will become another loose end for Felix. Also, really quick, I do want to debunk a theory that I did make in my last video that said that Sophie is a caretaker, or was a caretaker. Because of the uniform that she does have in episode 1, I did believe her to be a caretaker, but now it does make more sense that that is her hotel uniform and not the caretaker uniform. Next, we get a shot of a Bon's Burger sign saying that they are open from 9 a.m. to 10 p.m. Then we get an image of Rosemary. Perhaps in the next installment, we will learn more about her character. After we get an image of a drawing of Bon, and perhaps this is concept art for the cartoon the company introduces to the brand. Next we get an image of the Buzu animatronic running smoothly, and I am very much hoping that we do get more information about the character Charles, because we honestly haven't learned that much about him. So hopefully in the next installment we will learn more about Charles, about how he was killed and stuffed inside the Buzu animatronic. We also get 2 images of the inside of Jack and Rosemary's home, a home they shared with their 3 children, Ed, Molly, and Sophie. And most likely we will be seeing the family in complete grief after the loss of Ed and Molly. And the next image that we do get is what looks like a news reporting of Susan Wooding, another victim to Felix's programmed Bon. And Susan was killed the night of Jeremy's party, and it is very likely that the news station will declare Susan missing as her body has not been found because it is inside the Bunny animatronic. We get this image of a birthday party, and if we do count the candles, the child is turning 12. After we get an image of a locked box sitting in the restaurant. And as to what is inside of the box, it is unknown. But if I were to take a really wild guess, I want to say Jack Walton's body is inside that box. I know it's crazy. I know it's a very far-fetched idea, but I don't know, as soon as I saw that box, there was something, like, I don't know, I just have a feeling, but I have no evidence to back it, so whatever. But yeah, this is just a wild guess. Do not take me seriously. Next, we get Bon standing over an audience of children, and it is very likely that this is the incident of 1974, the incident that forced the shutdown of Bon's Burgers. We see an image of Buzu in the Bunny Farm arcade style, so it is likely that we will be seeing more gameplay of that. And from this, it does look like Buzu is standing in St. Juana's forest. We also see Shaw in Bunny Farm arcade fashion, further alluding to more Bunny Farm gameplay from either Jenny or Sophie, because again the arcade game is in the Enford Hotel, which they both work at. The last shot is of Bon, inside of the Bon's Burgers location, and the way we can tell is based on the wallpaper in the back. And it does seem that someone is inspecting the animatronic after hours. And after all of this, the screen goes black, and we hear this piece of dialogue.
So they're gone? Molly and Ed?
Felix has told somebody about the death of Ed and Molly, and that someone is Charles. But based on the evidence that we already have, this information leads to the death of Charles by the hands of Felix. And most likely what happened is that Felix confided in Charles, but Charles did want to get the truth out, and to prevent that from happening, Felix got rid of him. The last audio that we do get is Felix on the phone with someone saying this.
May 5th. 3 days after the accident.
And I believe he's saying, "Hey sis," 3 days after the accident, meaning that Felix does have a sister that knows about the death of Ed and Molly.
You would be devastated. That's why I buried him.
And that was the Walten Files Keep an Eye teaser explained. Be sure to subscribe because I will be keeping up to date on this series, so if you do want to see that, be sure to subscribe. And let me know what you guys think is inside of this black box. I personally think it's Jack Walton because I think that would be insane. But if you guys have a more logical reason, let me know in the comments. But yeah, that's everything. I'll see you guys later. You're awesome. Okay, bye. Thanks for watching.